I'm Luke, and for the past 2 days, I've been pack rafting on big waves, trying to catch some fish and hanging out with the weird creatures of the forest. Things might not go all as planned though, so tune in, enjoy. This is the remnants of a very old logging road that I'm hiking up right now. The trail is getting worse and worse, but we're still set to make it to Main Lake on time. So here's how old this logging road is. This is what's left of the bridge that was going across this tiny little creek here. Completely caved in. You can see the logs that they used to build it. And I'm just following the flagging, checking my GPS every 10 minutes or so, make sure I'm not off course. Here we are. Wow, look at this. Oh my goodness. The shoreline is so weeded in. It's gonna be hard to launch this boat. But that's what time it is. All right, here's the lake. So here's the deal. It's all this, the whole way to the lake. So the easiest thing for me to do in this scenario is to blow up my raft right here in this shrub. Kind of just slash through there over to the lake and then jet off in the water. All right, let's see about getting this boat launched, eh? Just gonna have to do a little bit of wading here. There's the tadpoles again. Well, that was some good hard work. Not the worst bushwhack I've done recently though. I'd say all things, this is looking pretty nice so far. Kick back a little, maybe drink a bit of water here. That's nice. It's taken just under 1 hour to finish the entire paddle for the day. And I was expecting more like 2 or 3, so I think that as fate would have it, we might have the opportunity to go fishing for a salmon. It doesn't get much better than this. Look at this sight, oh my goodness. Got some tables. Doesn't get any better. Something about this lake is it's got a single barbless hook rule in effect for the kokanee and the rainbow trout that are in it. We've got this funny little looking guy, eh? And the whole Luke doesn't set the hook thing? Yeah, that's not going to be happening today. We're going to set it hard and we're going to catch these fish, okay? That's the plan. They're kokanee, they're salmon. We're gonna cook them up over a fire tonight. It's going to be just about the best thing ever, okay? So let's go. any rises yet, so. No rises at all, and no bites over there. I'm gonna try the shallow area by the reeds here a bit more just to see if that's where they like to be hanging out. Wind was really starting to hammer it on out there, so came back to shore. Might do a little more fishing. The lake doesn't seem that fishy to me, so we'll see about it. But I thought I'd come check out this campsite. Well, I'm gonna get settled in for the night here. Looks like chances of Kokanee are slim. Maybe tomorrow morning, maybe never. Well, you gotta make ends meet somehow. A man's gotta eat. So I made it happen. I got myself a wild herring. Kippered, actually. I have enjoyed the feature of the X-Dome in which you don't have to stake it out at all in the past, but I think tonight will be a very good test for it to stake it out. Dinner is served. Here we are. Looks fantastic. It's delightful. Got these black beans. Most important part. Beautiful, beautiful tin right there. Nice. Let's just, yeah, there you go. One big fillet, huh? Wow. I'm a very lucky guy. Sweet. Looks good. Today was a real short day because there was a wildfire along the island highway and it shut the whole thing down for a couple hours. The detour took 3.5 almost. So I got here a little late and didn't get as much fishing done as I wanted to, but it seems choppy and I'm not sure that the fish are really active at the current moment, so I don't know if I missed out on too much. Tomorrow, we're gonna paddle up the coast of the island and explore some of its chain islands, the octopus islands, where there's some cool stuff to be seen, so looking forward to that. These little buggers already know what's up. They're here for my stuff. Look at you. Always cute though. Wow. At the more well-used campgrounds, these guys are pretty acclimated to humans. I like the way he hops. I bet he'll come check this out if I leave it for him. Sometimes in the evening, when it cools down and the wind dies down a little, the fish get a bit more active. That's all I've noticed. I wouldn't be surprised if those were Kokanee fry. But, you know, the little fry aren't going to be jumping around with glee if there's a big lunker out there waiting to be caught, so tough for me. They're funny though. Kick back here with a little pack of dried figs. Enjoy that fire and the calmness. That is a big fat toad. Don't go near the campfire, little buddy. Dang, you're really motoring, huh? So let's have a little look at this guy. What's this guy like? See that? Yeah, dude, you're a sick toad. Get out of here, man. Go enjoy yourself. Off into the darkness. Came right up to me. I think these things are just everywhere out here, actually. I can hear them just all romping around. Oh, holy shit, there's a set of eyes over there. And over here too. Hey, hey! Shh! Ah! What's in there? I think it's deer. It's so interesting that they're not running away more. How about rock? Well, I'm fairly sure they're gone. I'd love to see if the camera picked up on those eyes. What a lovely night. Had some ungulates in the camp. Had a frog or two in the camp, a toad. Gonna sleep good. God damn it, these guys are gonna be all up in this shit tonight. I'm scared, I don't want them chewing holes in my stuff. This tent is brand new. I don't want holes in it. Well, with all that done, I think I'm ready to hit the hay. Gonna be up early tomorrow, start hiking, start rafting. We'll see some good sights, it'll be great. Good morning. It is very windy outside. It's been gusting all through the night. So let's go make some coffee. Yeah. There are upsides and there are downsides to staying at established campsites. It's quite nice to not have to hang a bear bag and have these bear boxes available to you. But at the same time, the mice were crazy last night. They were all climbing up and down the mesh of my tent. I thought one of them was inside the tent at some point. They were all scurrying around under my mattress and such. They stick around here because they know people will drop their food all around. That bread's puffing up nice and good. Spam is starting to release. Oh yeah. Yeah. Wow. Cut into this bread and see what we got. Oh, beauty, beauty, beauty. Fat hunk of butter. Pop it right in there. Strawberry jam on there. That was one hell of a breakfast. Definitely heavy, but the spam and fresh bread combo ain't bad. Here's where I saw those eyes last night staring back at me in the forest, and I do think it was a deer. Got tracks like that, little hoof prints. I thought I could hear hoof prints too running away. These poor little dudes were just hanging out over here. And I came rip-roaring through the night, throwing sticks at them and yelling. Sorry for disturbing the peace, little guys. So this is how I'm packing my bag for a much shorter and less bushwhacky hike. So I'm gonna launch the boat again in 30 minutes, so there's no point in wrapping it all the way up. You can do it like this as long as you're not gonna be going through a lot of shrubbery. Same thing with the paddle. You can save a little bit of space on the side pockets by just putting it in two-piece. As long as you're not going to be going under really, you know, low shrubbery. So hopefully we won't. Pretty sure it's a pretty well established trail down here. This is a beautiful trail here. This is fantastic. All right, I'm doing a bit of scouting here. This is the direction we're going, so it seems like in Yeatman Bay we're going to be dealing with a lot of headwind. Well, I'll tell you what, conditions are a whole lot rougher than expected out here. The wind has doubled and it's changed directions 180 degrees, so I'd be facing a long battle into headwind with big choppy white-capped waves. So I think we're gonna have to call an audible on this one. Turn around, make a little detour. Situations like these are exactly why you always research backup plans. So we're gonna head that way, to the left. This is going to be one long paddle, I think. I'm making an even quarter of the pace that I made coming with the wind down this lake. So we're a quarter of the way there. We're crossing this. Tons of whitecaps out there. We're gonna grind the rest of it out here. It is good to be on land again. Whew. So this is where I launched my boat yesterday on Main Lake. It's nice and pretty. It's a lot calmer than the other side. There's little tadpoles swimming around. Look at these guys. You can just barely see their tiny little back legs coming in. They're such magical little critters. I would bet that these are fire-bellied newt tadpoles. Newts have tadpoles, right? Yeah. Oh, they're cute. It is windy. Holy smokes, the conditions are so much worse than forecast. All right. Here's the deal. The two routes are both 7 kilometers. But one of them, I would be exchanging 2 kilometers of hiking for 2 kilometers of paddling. And this paddling, it hasn't been that fun. It's been a little nerve-wracking and a little exhausting. So I think we're just gonna pack it up, beeline it out here the same way we came, and call it a good one. There are just tons more whitecaps over there, so I'm pretty happy being off the open water. I'm happy rolling up that raft and just the absolute adventure staple. A little bit of these dried figs, but the main course. Crackers and beans. And that's how I pack my raft when I'm going on a longer and more bushwhacking intensive trip. Let's get after it. Woo! Nice. If I remember right, that was the worst of it. Quite nice to have the bushwhack behind us. Well, we're almost back to the car. And it's been an interesting trip. It was pretty wobbly from the start. a grass fire near Nanaimo held me up for 4 hours in bumper-to-bumper traffic. And once I got here, it was 6 p.m. when I started hiking. And right as I pulled up, my check engine light turned on. So we'll see how she starts up here. But yeah, conditions way choppier than expected. The lake had less trout. Those waves on the lake were honestly pretty scary. So I'm all right with calling this one. Well, you can't win them all. See you next time.